Okay, I'm back again with chapter 5 of Song for a Whale by Lynn Kelly. At lunch, I sat at a table with other people, but still alone. I could actually read lips all right, not that I'd ever tell Miss Khan. No matter how good I was, there'd be no way to catch everything. Too many sounds look the same, and in a group of people, it's impossible to pick up more than a word or two here and there. It's even worse if they're eating. Some kids tried to remember to look at me when they talked. Then they'd get into a conversation with everyone else, too fast for me to keep up. A couple of the kids knew the sign language alphabet and would spell out sentences letter by letter. That took forever, so I'd tell them to just go ahead and write it. Whenever I spelled something back, they didn't catch it anyway, unless I slowed down so much that by the time I got to the end of the sentence, they'd forgotten the beginning. Some people at my table were in my science class. I was still thinking about the whale called Blue 55 and wondered if they were too. It didn't look like anyone was talking about him. I wanted to ask if they thought he liked swimming around by himself or if he wanted friends. Maybe he'd tried singing like the other whales and couldn't do it, or he was happy singing his own song. Nina walked by with some of her friends and waved like she wanted to tell me something super important. Even when I understood her, she never said anything important. But she had seen the Blue 55 video, and obviously she was interested in sign language. I took a deep breath and decided to give it a try. As clearly as possible, I signed to her, "What did you think of that whale?" Nina pointed at my lunch and signed something that made absolutely no sense. I couldn't even figure out what she was trying to get at. Maybe the message was jumbled because she was excited and signing too fast, as if her hands couldn't keep up with her brain. I held up a hand to try to slow her down. Numbers and letters were easy enough to understand, so I shook a letter B sign to sign blue, then tapped the air twice with a 5 hand shape, Blue 55. I shrugged a little and raised my eyebrows with a question. It should have been perfectly clear I was asking, so what did you think of the whale? Somehow she still didn't seem to get it, and I didn't understand whatever she was trying to say. Nothing that looked like whale or ocean or song. I gave up and turned to Sanjay, who was sitting across from me and talking about a new level he'd unlocked in a video game or something like that. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Nina signing even more furiously. Her friends backed away to avoid getting smacked in the face by her flailing arms. Even though she was the one making a scene, I was getting the attention. Sanjay pointed to tell me I should be looking at Nina, but I waved him off, as if I were dying to know the rest of his video game story. I took a quick glance to see if Nina had given up yet. My face burned as she moved in closer. Great. This girl couldn't recognize a hint if it ran up and set her hands on fire. I reached into my backpack and ripped a piece of paper from a notebook. "What's everyone doing this weekend?" was the first thing I thought of to start a new conversation. Nina was right next to me. I knew this not from looking at her, but from the breeze created by her hands waving at the side of my head. Finally, I turned to look because everyone was pointing by then. What I witnessed was amazing. Not even one sign made sense. I signed to Nina, "I don't understand you," then turned back to the group. Still, she didn't give up. She leaned over, forcing me to see her, and signed with her hands right in my face. I couldn't take it anymore. My face burned hotter. I'm going to sneeze in a sec. Pardon me. Everyone looked at me like I was the dumb one for not understanding. I pushed her away and signed, "Leave me alone." I didn't mean to push her so hard, but she ended up crashing into the people at the next table and landing on the floor. Nina's mouth was open wide, as if she were yelling. She must have been making a lot of noise, since people from all the way across the cafeteria stood up for a better view. The lunch duty teachers made their way to our table then, their faces full of concern. One of their mouths formed the words, "What happened?" A teacher helped Nina up. She rubbed her elbow where she'd landed, but seemed fine otherwise. I stood up and swung my backpack over my shoulder. Even though the bell hadn't rung, I headed to the principal's office. That was where they were going to send me anyway. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it today. Bye.